this is a video for new Christians. There's going to be a first video of a series of videos I'm going to produce. What I want to talk about is, as a new Christian, you're going to hear all sorts of things. You're going to hear, but especially, I think the main thing you're going to hear, especially when it comes to the books that are out there and television shows and all these different types of things, is you're going to hear stuff on the rapture. And you're going to hear people setting dates, saying it's 2016, 2017, whatever. This has been going on for years, decades, millennia almost, pretty much. People have always been predicting Jesus is coming at this particular time, whatever. They thought he was coming in their lifetime in the 50s. They thought he was coming in the 1800s. It's nothing new. And I'm not suggesting that we're not supposed to be looking up for hope and redemption that draws near. Of course, we as Christians were called to do that. We're called to always be looking up and to waiting for a blessed hope. Of course, I would never suggest otherwise. But what I'm trying to warn you with is you can get really caught up with these people, with their videos, with all, and a lot of them have lots of knowledge, man, more knowledge than I do when it comes to this kind of stuff. And they seem to know their stuff when it comes to, all the Shemitahs and all these different things that are going on. I'm not saying that they're not well-meaning. I believe they are. I believe a lot of them are very well-meaning Christians, and they really want to help people, and they really want to warn people, etc., etc. But, when I became a Christian, when I was younger, I got caught up in those types of things, and, I was in the mentality that, I just, don't bother looking for a job, don't bother, give everything to the church, basically. We won't need any money anymore. There's no sense in getting a house. Might as well sell the farm kind of deal. And a lot of people get caught up in that. And a lot of people, unfortunately, that's what happens. They sell everything. They lose everything, basically, because, somebody out there that they trust as a leader or preacher or whatever says certain things, predicting certain things that don't come to pass, and all these problems arise out of it. So I would say to stay clear of that kind of stuff. There's more important things as a Christian that you should be aware of. One is to be walking in the light, walking in the Spirit. As Christians, just read the early church fathers like Polycarp and all those guys, Clement of Rome. They tell you, when you read them, you understand that they're desperately living a holy life, and yes, they're waiting for the return of Christ, just like they did in the New Testament times too. They had that mentality that Christ is coming anytime soon. But they were still living their lives. They were still going out and proclaiming the word to everybody. They were still, they weren't selling the farm. They weren't just like sitting there idly doing nothing. And I think as a Christian, the first and foremost is our walk with the Lord. I mean, that's why Jesus tells us that, blessed are those who obey God's will, right? Basically, do His will and obey Him. So this is forefront in a Christian life, not to be caught up in looking for signs and all these different types of things. There's nothing wrong with it, in a sense. You can kind of put it in, compartmentalize it a little bit. But I think you shouldn't be dwelling on those things because you can really get caught up and consumed in that type of mentality. And, you're better served serving the Lord in other ways, I think, especially with proclaiming His Word, getting it out there, and testifying about what God has done in your life to other people. I mean, that's what Paul was doing. He's testifying to everybody, to Agrippa, you name it, right? That's what they were doing. They weren't saying, Jesus is coming soon, so sell your farm and this and that. No, you don't find that in there. You find them telling you to get right with God because He could come soon.